So I think all of you have upload the first tutorial sheet, right? ඔගොල්ලෝ පළවෙනි tutorial sheet එක කරා නේද? ඒක කවුරු හරි කරලා නැති අය ඉන්නවා නම් මේ late submission වල කමන්න ඒක අනිවාර්යෙන් කරන්න. නැත්නම් ඔයාලා මේ අද session එක ගොඩක් තේරෙන්නේ නැති වෙයි. අද session එක like I'm doing the today's session like have a discussion with you about these ethical theories and how to use them in your life, right? It's some kind of a religion to us, like as a computer professionals. This is your religion. So let's start. So I will start the today's session with this: why you need to learn ethical and social issues. අයි ඔයාලට මේක ඉගෙන ගන්න ඕන. Consider yourself as a computer professional, future computer professionals, currently undergraduates, students of the Bachelor of Computing. You are doing a computing degree, and future you will become computer professionals, software engineers, maybe quality engineers, and business analysts. You mean data scientist, data analyst. They all are computer professionals. So why you need to learn these ethical and social issues? Anyone? I think you already answers for these questions. It is better if you can unmute and answer. Then we can have a nice discussion. Or please put your ideas to the chat. Well, you can talk in Sinhala as well. I'll explain them in English. It's okay. However, I need to have a conversation. ඇයි ඔයාලට මේ මේක ඉගෙන ගන්න ඕනේ? Anyone? Consider yourself as computer, like software engineers. You all are now software engineers, and say why you need to learn ethical and social issues. Please raise your hand if you don't know to answer this question. Make ඒකට උත්තරේ දන්නේ නැත්නම් මට අත උස්සන්න මට හරි feedback එකක්. I need some kind of feedback. So there are only to use the technology in good way. Okay. To make products or provide service related to those ethics and work with customer more friendly. Okay. Thank you, Karnanak and Hindu. I think Hindu Kulasurya, right? Okay. And Sahan to prevent harmful incidents that can happen with the use of technology. Okay. Tejaswini, to make our work social and cultural friendly. So there is a keyword cultural. And Methuli, because to work as a group of people, I think it's we might now learn ethical and social issues. So work with a group of people. So there are some keywords. Work with a group of people, cultural, social, and harmful incidents, prevent harmful incidents, and provide service. So in this subject, like many answers are correct answers, but like you need to explain them, right? If you choose this path, you need to explain why you choose this path, what are the ethical theories you have choose, and you need to have some kind of like perfect answer. ඒ කියන්නේ ඔයාලා මේ කෝස් එකේ ප්‍රශ්නයකට උත්තර දෙනවා නම් මේකේ ඔයාලට කැමති උත්තරයක් දෙන්න පුළුවන්. No, there is no right and wrong answer, but the underlying theories you need to say why you choose that answer. Like uh, let's go back to that same trolley problem. So many of you have choose it is worth one life. It is choose 5 lives with respect to the one life. So you choose the outcome. And what is the theory for outcome? It is utilitarianism. Likewise. කියන්නේ ඔයාලා මේ උත්තර දෙනවා නම් ඔයාලා මේ theories හරියට දැනගන්න. Theories හරියට දැනගෙන ඒවා තේරුම් මොනවද? And what are the applications? ඒ කියන්නේ ඒවා හරියට use කරන්නේ කොහොමද? ඒවා අනුව ඔයාලා choose කරන answer එකට ඒ theories වලින් ඔයාලා ඒක perfectly explain කරනවා. Right? So in this question, why you need to choose do ethical issues? So you need to consider yourself as computer science or computer professionals. So in there is a keyword called professional, right? Right. Let's see the nice. Yeah, screen is visible, right? So when you are explaining this, you need to have idea what is the professional, and you need to know each software engineer is a professional software engineer, right? That is the first thing you need to answer, right? So I will explain this in this way. Actually, the whole today's discussion can be covered only using this question: why you need to learn ethical and social issues. To answer these, you need to have a clear idea of this concept. What is the professional? So please raise your hand if you think software engineering is a profession. Can software engineering කියන එක professional එකක් කියන්නේ වෘත්තිකය ලතුසන්. Right. So I think majority of you have thinking software engineering is a profession. It's because software engineer should have the skills and knowledge regarding this profession. No. That is actually not correct. Hindu, because so yeah, I will explain that. Is so every person have skills and not maybe have some kind of a knowledge about what they are doing, right? But become a professional is another thing. Like you probably know doctor. කියන්නේ වෛද්‍ය වෘත්තිකේ. Doctor is a profession. Is a profession. Right? Why it is that? කියන්නේ අපි ඇයි ડોක්ටර් කෙනෙක් කියන එක ප්‍රොෆෙෂනල් එකක් කියලා කියන්නේ. Let's take a bit. Let's take the software engineer bit apart and let's consider the doctor. මම හිතන්නේ බයෝ කරලා ඔය පළවෙනියෙන්ම මේ බයෝ තෝරගන්න ඇත්තේ ડોක්ටර් කෙනෙක් වෙන්න. So like so you have some kind of quiet understanding how to become a doctor and what is the path to become a doctor, right? Can අපි අයි ડોක්ටර් කෙනෙක් කියනකො මේ ප්‍රොෆෙෂන් එකක් කිය. Anyone? Yeah. It's not about the skills, but they have to be respectful of the patient's lives, right? කියන්නේ යාළ බෙහෙත් දෙන කියන්නේ රෝගීන්ගේ ජීවිත ගැන යාළ වග කියන්න. Right? Yeah, that's the correct answer. Thank you, Vihanga. He work according to a relevant rules and regulation framework. Right? කියන ඔයාලා අහලා ඇති වෛද්‍යවරු ඩොක්ටර්ස්ලා වෙන්න කලින් යාලා තියෙනවා code of conduct එක. Yeah. Doctor have a commitment responsibility towards patient, right? ඒ කියන්නේ යාලා ජීවිත ගැන වග කියන්න ඕනේ. If there are something wrong happen when you consider about some kind of operation, maybe heart operation. If only tiny error can harm the patient's life, right? So doctors have that kind of code of conduct. And doctors ලා ડોක්ටර් කෙනෙක් වෙන්න නම් ඒක අපිට දිවුරුම් දෙන්න ඕන. දිවුරුම් දුන්නාම තමයි අපි කියන්නේ යා ડોක්ටර් කෙනෙක් කියලා, right? So let's go back to the software engineer again. Do we have as a let's consider us as software engineers. Do software engineers have code of conduct? එයාලට එහෙම rules තියෙනවා. Yeah, what are those rules? Actually, is it necessary? That's the thing. I think this is taught you in the last lecture, right? Code of conduct, code of ethics. Yeah. If you go to the ACM and IEEE, there is code of conduct for computer professionals. Yeah, ACM IEEE code of conduct. You can search and find out that name is ACA IEEE code of conduct for computing professionals. Right? Actually, you need to have a quiet understanding about this. So then next thing is uh, so as software could consider about the profession. Can බුද්ධිකයෙක් කියන එක අපි හිතුවොත් there can be occasion of you need to responsible for human life. So are there any such occasion for software engineers? You, we may know, consider doctors, engineers. Engineers are creating the like civil engineers. They are creating those buildings, and if there are some fault, then it's not the only one person. Like it's affect a whole lot of people, right? So are there such occasion for software engineers? Software engineers ලඩත් එහෙම මේ මිනිසුන්ගේ ජීවිත ගැන කියන්න තියෙනවා. Can you give me such kind of example? Yeah, private data, privacy. Yeah, privacy is correct. Like, let's consider uh, like software in a airport. Yeah, right. Aerospace system. So those are some kind of critical systems, and maybe uh, like there is a laser treatment. So you may heard about that story as well. Only the fraction of the sensitive sensitivity is increased and is damaged some person's eye due to programming error, right? So there are such occasions, such examples for now. As software engineers also, they need to like not not in a long way, just directly can affect a person life in a small kind of a bug, right? So that's why ACM IEEE guidelines, yeah. So it is not actually for software engineers and persons working in software industry. It is not mandatory for now to follow those code of ethics. That's why we call it code of ethics, not the code of conduct. If we have a code of conduct, we need to like those can be some kind of a rule. If you are not working according to those rules, then we can't do our job, right? But for software engineers, however, it's not mandatory because it's not going to affect that much. But there are such occasions, right? So the next thing, why people tend to work with a professional. So as I explained earlier, software engineering is a professional, but it is not mandatory to follow the code of conduct. If the person is following such code of conduct or code of ethics, then we can consider that person is a professional. Can කවුරු හරි කෙනෙක් ඒ code of conduct follow කරනවා නම් එයා ඒ විදිහට වැඩ කරනවා නම් එයා professional කෙනෙක්. Because they have the responsibility toward that profession, right? And for software engineers, it is not mandatory to follow such code of conduct, right? As example, there are many freelancers software engineers in Fiverr, and you can name, right? Fiverr and freelancer. There are many software engineers. And yeah, let's ask that question earlier. Why people tend to work with a non-professional? Like, ඇයි මිනිස්සු කියන්නේ ප්‍රොෆෙෂනල් නොවන කෙනෙක් එක්ක වැඩ කරන්න කැමති? එක්සාම්පල් ෆයිබර්. ඇයි ෆයිබර් එකේ කට්ටියත් එක්ක වැඩිපුර මිනිස්සු වැඩ කරන්න කැමති? Yeah, thank you, Sunil. Low cost. But other things, what about the experience as a considering them as a software engineers? So software engineers in Fiverr. So what about the experience and the quality of service? Please raise your hand if you are using Fiverr. Fiverr එක පාවිච්චි කරනවා නම් පොඩ්ඩක් අත උස්සන්න බලන්න එතකොට. Then I can have a clear idea about uh, what you are know about those concepts. Fiverr කවුරුත් use කරනවා නේද? So there are a few peoples, right? කියන්නේ Fiverr කියන්නේ කියන්නේ software engineers when maybe artists, or there are many uh, provide that you can provide many services, and there are more people tend to do their work in their Fiverr due to low cost is one thing. No. In Fiverr, there are no such kind of professionals. There can be rare occasions, but the problem is when we are working with professionals, they will ask for more money, right? So that's why we the first thing we do our work in Fiverr because due to the low cost, right? And we consider about their experience. So if you familiar with Fiverr, there is some kind of a rating mechanism. කියන්නේ එතන අපිට බලන්න පුළුවන් රේට් ඒගොල්ලන්ගේ 5 එකේ ඉන්න software engineers ලගේ බැලුවොත් එයාලට rating එකක් based on their past work. And you can filter out the most experienced software professional or software engineer who is a non-professional, since it's offering his service through Fiverr, and he might take low price, right? If you need to do the same job with a professional in a reputed company, then he will ask for more money due to the brand and many more things, right? So again, in non-professionals, if you have good rating score, that means they have good experience, right? They have done quality service, so that's why they have such a good rating, and their reputation will grow widely due to the uh, they, they offering good service, and there are more demand for that person since low price, good service, and it is quality, and so then it is much worthy to work with a non-professional in that aspect, right? And even when you are doing work, or if you need to do some kind of task for, like, it's considering building a house. So if you aware of that, mostly we build our houses with the non-professional mason basket එක්කනේ අපි වැඩ කරන්නේ. We not going to work with a reputed company because they are asking for much money, and we need to pay them very early, right? The whole thing. but it is very cheap to work with such a person. And how we are going to find them? We are asking for uh, from our friends, family members, and then we can get to know about those non-professionals who has good experience, and they are offering quality service, and they are asking for low uh, prices as well, right? ඒ කියන්නේ අපි මොකක් හරි වැඩක් කරගන්න යනවා නම් කාට නම් අපි අර හොඳටම වැඩ කරන කෙනාටම හොයන්න යන්නේ නැහැනේ. ඒ කියන්නේ ගයක් හදනවා නම් වාහනයක් ගන්නවා නම් අපි බලන්නේ තිස්සෙම අපේ යාළුවෙක් එක්ක කතා කරලා හරි නැත්නම් මේ අම්මලා තාත්තලා ෆැමිලි මෙම්බර්ස් ලගෙන් අහලා අපි බලනවා හැමතිස්සෙම වැඩේ කොහොමද අඩුවෙන්ම කරගන්න පුළුවන් හොඳටම කරන එක කියලා. Right? That's why it is good to work with a non-professional. But there are drawbacks. Let's go back to the earlier section. Why we tend to work with a professional? ඇයි දැන් අපි professional අත් එක්ක කරන්නේ? They ask, right, Mithuli, because professionals be responsible for their actions and the consequences caused by them, right? Can they have to be responsible? Like it's the same thing. If we are working with non-professional, they do some kind of a bad thing, then we can't do anything. Yeah, we will get the best service without hesitation. But there is some problem. There may be good software engineers or good professionals in a reputed company, but they might have no better experience, because actually they are getting less number of tasks to do. කියන්නේ එයාලට හම්බෙන tasks අඩු වෙන්න පුළුවන් when we compare with them with the non-professional. So their experience may low, right? And they may choose like එයාලා ඒ කම්පැනියේ තියෙන විදිහට ඒ regulations වලට තරයි දේවල් කරන්නේ. They will do according to those regulations and those things. So it might take some time also, and they need like they will follow those rules, and then they will do their job. But however, they will responsible for the consequences, and their actions can be monitored, peer reviewed, and like those tasks may be very transparency, even the money and everything, right? And there is a one main thing also when we work with professionals. So what is that? Let's speak about their knowledge. Consider about their knowledge. What will be the differentiation with the professional and non-professional? So again, they will try to give the good quality service. Is they are responsible and we can trust them, and they will be confidential, and especially they will have a good professional behavior because they follow a code of conduct. And so, and there is one thing that is like they should be updated. They should know what is the newest technology. So what is the current trend in, because that's some kind of a part in the code of conduct as well. Let's speak about the doctors. Doctors need to do, as I remember, exam or something after the 5 or some kind of years to update their knowledge. Otherwise, they can't be a doctor again. So that is necessary thing as a software engineer also. They need to be updated. That's why uh, that's some kind of a major thing that we are working with professionals because they are very updated, right? And again, they have good professional behavior, and we can trust them, and they will we can do work with them confidentially, and they will seek for quality service, right? Uh, so right, so so be a professional. You need to have such kind of code of conduct or code of ethics. So basically, in computer professionals, there is no such such rules that you must need to follow these, but you can follow a same code of ethics have to have some kind of ethical uh, behavior for as a computer professionals. So there is a concept as thinking about a professional. Then there is a concept whistleblower. So who is a whistleblower? කවුද මේ whistleblower කියලා කියන්නේ? Traffic police එහෙම නෙමෙයි. Traffic police. This is comes from the professional background. Anyone? Please raise your hand if you don't know about this term. මේ term එක ගැන දන්නේ නැත්නම් I think yeah, Indura is not know anything. Well, I think you should learn for this concept in last lecture. Madam Karane, whistleblowers. Right. Please raise your hand if you know Edward Snowden. Snowden දන්නේ කවුද? No. Currently, it is not correct. Whistleblower is some else actually. Edward Snowden දන්නේ කවුද? So Edward Snowden is the favorite or most famous whistleblower who has working with American security. And he revealed about the government secretly collecting the citizens' privacy information, right? Corona Naik, thank you. A person who informs on a person or organization regarded as engaging in unlawful activity called whistleblower. Like if you are working in a company and you are a software engineer and you are working with the company and you aware that company is doing some kind of a unlawful or bad activity and you for your code of ethics or code of conduct you uh, you consider that this is wrong and maybe it's against to the company regulations. Can company के com, there can be regulations for company as like company के some නීතිමාලාවක් නීති පද්ධතියක් තියෙනවා. හැබැයි ඔයා ACM එකේ code of ethics තමයි ඔයා follow කරන්නේ. එතකොට company නීති වලට එකඟ වෙන්නේ නැතුව ඒ කියන්නේ company යම්කිසි වැරදි දෙයක් සිද්ධ වෙනවා. ඔයාට හිතෙනවා ඒක වැරදි. ඔයා ඊට පස්සේ මොකද්ද ගන්න ඕන? What is your action? It may be against to the company regulation. يعني company නීති වලට පටහැනි වෙන්න පුළුවන් ඔයා ගන්න action එක. බැයි ඔයා කොහොමද ඒක කියන්නේ ඒ වැරදි දෙයක් වෙනවා නම් ඒකට ගන්න ඕනේ ක්‍රියාමාර්ග. What is your action? කොහොමද ඔයා හිතන්නේ? Anima? So it is not a correct example, but as I remember, Ranjan also revealed some major things in the parliament with his recordings, right? So it is not a correct example, but maybe somewhat, for some extent, it's okay, I would say. So whistleblower is who reveal the information of an organization or government to media or outside people. So the sole purpose of public good. Can a whistleblower කෙනෙක් කියන්නේ එයා මේ මාධ්‍යයට හරි ජනතාවට රටේ පුද්ගලයන්ට කියනවා මේ කම්පැනි හරි වෙන වැරදි දෙයක්. කියන්නේ ඒක මිනිසුන්ට ඕපන් වෙලා තිබ්බේ නැති දෙයක් කම්පැනි වෙච්ච වැරදි දෙයක් කියනවා මොකද පබ්ලික් ගුඩ් කියන එක හින්දා. right? So කියන්නේ දැන් ඔයාට හිතනවා නම් කම්පැනි එක මොකක් හරි වැරදි දෙයක් වෙනවා කියලා. එතකොට first thing why you are consider that is wrong. So there should be a mechanism to think the action is right and wrong, right? Can a company or when you are working as a professional, you need to have a clear idea about what is right and what is wrong, and then the other thing, if it is wrong according to your criteria, so then there is coming those ethical theories, right? To consider action is right and wrong according to basically ethical theories. So those also have in the code of conduct to consider about what is that right and wrong. Usually it will consider about the public good. Can ජනතාවගේ කියන්නේ සිංහලේ public good කියන එක. Let's go to the ACM code of conduct, code of ethics aqui. Share. Right, that's I have highlighted this keyword, public good. So in preamble, competitive professional actions change the world to act responsibly, and they should reflect upon wider impact. Their work consistently supporting the public good. So understanding the public good always the primary consideration. So what is this public good? It's not mentioned here. So in this code of ethics and professional conduct, it's, it's always highlighted this word, right? You can visibly see that it is mentioned in everywhere. So what is public good actually? In single term is uh, Mahajana Apat. So what is actually public good? මොකද්ද මේ public good කියලා කියන්නේ? Anyone? කවුරුත් ඒ term එක අහලා නැහැ? It's like simply the common people's benefits, right? That means you are if some kind of actions is yeah, thank you, Mithili. It helps the well-being of the majority of people in the society, well-being, and like as I explained earlier, that if something wrong thing is happened to a majority of people in a country or in the world, then those acts are not good for public good, right? So you need to have clear idea about the cultural aspect and maybe in utilitarianism and those kind of those are actually like objectivism. Let's go to them. Yeah, before that, right, let's go back to code of conduct later. So for now, so how to consider action is right and wrong. Sorry, I need to share this. How to consider the action is right and wrong, and what is the public good. So again, uh, like uh, let's explain this in code of conduct. Uh, if you are working in a profession and you know there is some wrong thing happening based on the ethical theories, and if it is wrong and you feel it's not uh, not going to do good for the general public, like their privacy can be breached, or uh, there can be some kind of harmful for their well-being, then you can consider those acts are not good for the general public. So, as explained in the ACM Code of Ethics, so you can, if you first what need to do is you can just inform the company heads or uh, company directors, right? Then, if they are also not going to listen, then you can reveal them to the public according to the ACM Code of Ethics guidelines. Like, so consider example, uh, the software engineer who abiding with the ACM Code of Ethics, and he found a critical failure of a software product used by government, and which would harm for majority of people. And he had uh, informed his supervisors, but uh, none is going to respond. So he decided to whistleblow, right? So how can he uh, uh, can justify his action? Like, consider this went to a court, and in court he need to justify why he did that whistleblowing, right? So what he can do actually in court, he can just justify by using the ACM Code of Ethics and Professional Conduct. So that's another usage, because he can justify even in the court about his action, even it is uh, illegal. Uh, just give me a minute. Sorry, student, for that. I have asked a question. Is GMO is a whistleblower count? Uh, yeah, but what is actually their code of ethics? Like GMO, those organizations are working with their political agenda. So those are actually uh, about that agenda, not for the public good. Sure. So, like, you can consider them and rethink about in the aspect of ethical theories, right? And, like, some things can be taken as if in politically uh, the- can I- there there are two parties, one who govern the government and other party, right? So basically, other party will say everything done by the government is wrong. right? So in government media, they all will tell everything as a good thing, and in uh, other media, they will blame everything, right? So as common people or the citizens in the country, we need to consider both aspects, and we need to come some kind of a middle, right? So those can be ethically and even uh, can be analyzed through these ethical theories and consider what is actually going on and happen. So that's some kind of another thing. So let's stick with, for now with the software engineering aspect and ACM code of ethics for the simplicity. So as I mentioned earlier, so there is a profession, and he knows the companies uh, harming the majority of people with the critical failure in their software product, and he also informed the supervisors, but they are not going to respond. So he decides to whistleblow, and and as I mentioned earlier, he can justify his action in the court also with using the code of conduct. So what is so actually a computing professional has an additional obligation to report any signs of systems risks uh, that might result in harm. It is mentioned in the code of conduct, and if the leaders do not act to the curtail or mitigate such risks, it may necessary to blow the whistle. So I think is mentioned here as well. Right. So this is the section under the 1.2 avoid harm. The computer professional has additional obligation to report any signs of system risks that might result in harm. If leaders do not act to curtail or mitigate such risks, it may be necessary to blow the whistle to reduce potential harm. However, capricious or misguided reporting of risk can itself be harmful. Again, you can know misguided such report can be harm the person itself. And as mentioned before, reporting risk, company professionals should carefully assess the relevant aspect of the situation. So it is mentioned what is this harm. Harm means negative consequences, especially when those consequences are significant and unjust. So uh, you can search through what is this unjust means. So all are clearly explained in this uh, uh, ACM Code of Ethics. So if you are aware of these, and when you are working with profession uh, in a reputed company, you can think what is just right and wrong, and you can act according to that. So you know, do not need to be silent to the everything, right? That's why these are for you when you are working professional. So actually, many such occasions can be arise. That's why you need to aware. That's why actually you need to follow this course as well to get to know what is actually happening in the professional environment, and you need to ready for this as well, like not only learning programming databases, data structures. You need to aware uh, how to work in a professional environment as that's why actually you are like. So if you have any questions up to now, you can ask. In next, I will explain how to justify action right and wrong according to the ethical theories. So I think you have some kind of understanding about how to work in a professional environment as a undergraduate and future uh, computer professionals, and what is the responsibility you are having uh, in working in such environment, and how to deal with the problems. So I think you are aware of them. If you have any questions up to now, you can ask. Right? Like if we ask about these problems in your exam, you can decide. Like we will ask uh, the same question as consider yourself as a professional, and there is some major issues in your software product or some major problem in the company that will uh, harm for the public good, and uh, we will ask what will your actions, and you can decide either to not to do anything or whistleblowing, and but uh, you need to explain why you decide that one according to the ethical theories, like uh, how to uh, consider the action is unjust, and if it is unjust, and what is your next task, and those should be explained through this code of conducts and ethical theories. I will explain them in later the session, and uh, like you need to create that perfect answer. Just simply say I will whistleblow, then it's not going to give any marks for the question. If you are whistleblowing, you need to explain why you did that one according to the same guidelines and those ethical theories, right? So I think you are aware about the content. Now let's go this one. How to consider action is right and wrong. Anyone? කොහොමද ඔයගොල්ලෝ හිතන්නේ මොකක් කරන action right and wrong? I think I have asked this in the tutorial as well as I remember. However, කොහොමද හිතන්නේ action එකක් right the wrong ද කියලා? Yeah, one thing by considering the effects after doing that. So what is the ethical theory? Considering the effects, considering the effects or considering the outcome, it is utilitarianism, right? So there is a another term, uh, consequentialism. Yeah, consequentialism is the another term. Right. So Tejaswini and Sahan Vihank, you may aware that in I think Galileo's time, the Copernicus, who told that the it is not the sun is rotating with 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 the earth, but it is actually the earth is rotating the sun, right? Then in that time, many think he's a crazy person and so on and so forth. You may have heard about that story. So, right, so like some kind of a cultural belief, as many have thought in that time, the earth is in the middle of the solar system, right? So then how you consider about that? Can we justify through utilitarianism? Hmm. So actually, there can be many uh, things you can do to judge the action is right and wrong. Maybe in religious belief. ඔයාලට ආගමින් වුණත් හිතන්න පුළුවන් ආගමට අනුව මේක හරිද වැරදිද. Or you can carry it out thought experiment, right? So there is two main paradigms: relativism and objectivism. So, so in relativism, it's actually think the action is right and wrong relative to something, a personal idea, religion, or maybe culture. කියන්නේ relativism එකෙන් අපි හිතන්නේ connection එක right and wrong ද කියලා. ඒ කියන්නේ personal idea. ඒ කියන්නේ යාගේ තියෙන moral theories අනුව පිට හිතන්න පුළුවන් නැත්නම් religion එකකින් ආගමට අනුව. It can be any religion, Muslim, Islam, Buddhist, Christian, Catholic, anything, or maybe the culture, right? So actually, the term subjective relativism, where we think in the action is right and wrong according to your individual belief, right? So it is subjective relativism. So uh, consider an election in what is happening in 2019 also, presidential election. So what is actually the happening there? Like one person will vote for another uh, uh, under its individual belief, right? Like in what is explained in subjective relativism. So people will vote for whom that they think uh, the person is good, right? කියන්නේ කවුරු හරි vote කරන්නේ හොඳයි කියලා යට හිතනවා. That is actually the subjective relativism. In relativism, but we are considering the action is right and wrong according to the personal idea, religion, culture, or maybe in That means it's relative to something. මොකක් හරි එකක් ගැන හිතලා තමයි අපි ඒක කරන්නේ. So in some cases, there is a term also named divine command theory, where we consider the action is right and wrong decided by based on the religion, right? And that means that's why it's called this divine command. Divine means even actually the God. We can say this action is good because it is the God words. දෙවියන් වහන්සේ විසින් කියපු නිසා තමයි අපි මේක හිතන්නේ මේ action එක right the wrong. That is actually explaining divine command theory. And the another concept, virtue ethics. This also comes under the relativism. So in virtue ethics, we will consider some actions is right and wrong based on some kind of a virtue person. Let's take consider if you are doing something and your virtue person may be Gandhi or the famous philosopher Immanuel Kant, or maybe Barack Obama, can be named anything, maybe, right? So you have a virtue person and you are thinking this action is right because the virtue person also did the same thing for the same and you can think he will do this activity in your according to your thoughts about that person, right? So that is virtue ethics. You can consider the action is right and wrong because your virtue person also did the or will do the same thing as you are aware, right? So those are actually relative to something you are thinking the action is right and wrong. So relative can be personal idea, maybe religion, or maybe culture, right? Likewise, that is relativism. This one aspect. The other aspect is objectivism. That means like something is out there irrespective of person, culture, religion, and one can go and find the truth. That like so as I explained earlier, Copernicus time, Earth is rotation around the sun because he thinks in objective way. So it is actually a fact, right? So not based on the people's idea, religion, or any other thing, not relevant relative to the other thing. It is something else that you can say the action is right and wrong. Maybe the as environmental fact, or maybe something else. So that something else also can be the consequences, as you mentioned in utilitarianism. you can judge or you can consider action is right and wrong based on the consequences. That means what will happen after the action, right? And what is meant by deontology? Can deontology එකේ මොකක්ද කියන්නේ? Anyone? In utilitarianism, it is based on the outcome. But what is about deontology? In Sinhala, I think it's yuktivada. Utilitarianism means upayogitava. Anyone? So I uh, so I will take that same example mentioned in the science literature page, right? So so you all agree with your going to save 5 people's because 5 people's life is worth than one single person, right? So same occasion, same situation, consider yourself as a doctor, right? And there are 5 people who the first one needs to have a heart transplant, and the second person needs to have kidney transplant, and likewise there are 5 people who need some kind of like human body part, right? And there is a good health person, and that you can take the heart or kidney from that good health person, and you can save 5 people's life, and only giving the one single person life. So what will you do? You you will kill that one person, and will you save the other 5 people? Please raise your hand if you are going to save those 5 people. No. Please raise your hand if you are going to save that one the healthy person, irrespective of the 5 lives. Again, ඔයාලා දන්නවා ඔයාලා ඩොක්ටර්ස් ඩොක්ටර් කෙනෙක් කියලා. ඊට හොඳ හෙල්ති පුද්ගලයෙක් ඉන්නවා. එයාගේ අවයව වලින් ඔයාට පුළුවන් ජීවිත 5ක් බේරන්න. හැබැයි අර පුද්ගලයා නැති වෙනවා. ඔයා එහෙම කරන්නේ නැතුව ඔයා අර පුද්ගලයාව විතරක් බේරනවා නම් අර 5 දෙනාට එයාලගේ දෛවය හරි මොකක් හරි එහෙම කියලා ඔයාලා ඉන්නවනම් අත උස්සන්න බෑ. Right. Actually, why you are saving that one person? It is like same exact that trolley problem, because you can save 5 lives. Yeah, mentally saying one life is also equally important as the life of 5 people. So that is what the like ethical thinking about the about that occasion. කියන්නේ ඔයාලට ethically background එකක් තියෙනවා මොකක්ද කරන්න ඕනේ කියලා, right? ඊට පස්සේ ඒ ethically එන ඒ background එක ඔයාලා identify කරගන්න ඕනේ. ඒක මොකක්ද ඒ theory. එතකොට ඔයාලගේ moral theories වලින් ඔයාලා හිතනවා නම් කියන්නේ හැම ජීවිතයක්ම වටිනවා කියන එක. It's some kind of a more, it's like you consider every life is matter. That is your moral belief, right? So based on that belief, you are not going to do any actions in that occasion, even in the first trolley problem as. That's what we call deontology. Deontology means based on your ethical beliefs, or based on your some kind of a ethical say some kind of ethical aspect, you consider those actions are not good. It no, without thinking the outcome, you just simply consider those acts because you thinking those acts are not representing yourself. Maybe it is not what you will do according to the moral laws or ethical or ethics, and you are not thinking about the outcome, but based on those ethics and morality of yours, you consider those actions are wrong, right? That is deontology. So in many such occasions, like the problem is you are in the middle of the problem. You are not going to consider about the problem in outside. Then mostly yourself will be deontology. That means කියන්නේ ඔයාලා යුක්තිවාදීව ප්‍රශ්නේ ඔයාලට සම්බන්ධයි. හැබැයි when you are thinking from the outside, කියන්නේ ඔයාලා ඉඳලා හිතනවා, mostly you will consider those actions from in a utilitarianism aspect. කියන්නේ ඔයා යුක්තිවාදීව තමයි මේ දේවල් ගැන බලන්නේ. Right? So there is some nice such objectivism theory, that is Kantianism. So I think it is not for your syllabus, but I will suggest you to read that one as well. So in Kantianism, actually, the second formula is what is actually matter to your life as well. So I will just simply say that one. It is that so the second formulation of the Kantianism is act so that you treat both yourself and other people as ends in themselves and never only as means to an end. So here, so I'll explain it again. Yeah, more technical words. Yeah, like in your lectures, there will be cover some kind of technical terms. Just remember what are the occasions. So I think now you know about utilitarianism and deontology, right? That means you need to understand how to use them in real life applications. So based on that applications, you can memorize those terms. Like relativism means relative to something. Objectivism means based on some kind of ethics or those ethical theories. So those ethical theories are deontology, next utilitarianism. Now I will explain one extra thing, that is Kantianism. I think Kantianism is not for your syllabus, but is need to ask from the madam as well. If she not explain those in the lecture, then we'll not going to ask from you in the final exam. But however, I consider this Kant system will be helpful for your life. Actually, the second formulation, that is, as I will explain it again, so that you treat both yourself and other people as ends in themselves and never only as means to an end. කියන ඔයාවයි තව ඔයත් එක්ක ඉන්න අනිත් අයත් එක්කයි වැඩ කරද්දී ඒ හැමෝගෙම අන්තිම ගෝල් එක වෙනුවෙන් තමයි වැඩ කරන්නේ, නැතුව ඔයාලගේ ගෝල් එකට ඔයාලගේ ගෝල් එකට විතරක් ගන්න කියන්නේ පාත් එකක් කරගන්න නැහැ. So here it means to an end means path for your ending, path for your goal. Right? In Sri Lankan culture, many have used other peoples as the path to their goal. After the goal, they will not going to take care of other people. That means if you went to that your goal, then you will not going to help others to go to the same goal. So in Kantianism, in simple terms, that will say that don't use other people as a tool to reach your goal. Right? That is some kind of my advice for you. And it's up to you to learn more about the Kant. So Immanuel Kant have explained more theories about these ethics. And it is about how to consider action is good or bad or right or wrong. So I will give us quite some. So first I will start from today's lecture by asking why you need to learn this subject, social issues, as a software profession. So first you need to understand what is being of a professional. So you need to go through the code of conduct. You need to act according to that and according to the rules and regulations. So that is the next slide. Law, morality, law and ethics, and rules and regulation. Then you may know about being a professional. So then what if some action is right and wrong? You can judge those action right and wrong based on those ethical theories. Mainly those are comes under two categories. It's not actually like divided, but it is helpful for you to understand relativism and objectivism. Relativism means according to something, according to God, according to your idea, according to religion, according to culture, right? And objectivism not according to such things, but according to the ethical theories. As I explained, Kantianism not use people's for not use people's as a tool for your end. And in utilitarianism, by considering the consequences, or deontology, by thinking about your morality or your ethics, and you decide those actions right or wrong. Then you know how to judge the action, and you can actually be more professional in this professional background, right? So before going into this, so do you have any questions up to now? Vihanga, I think I gave you the why there is so much keywords, right? So I think you have idea why those such keywords, because there are many ways to judge a action is right and wrong, and so you are going to work with such number of people. So those people will judge those action in many ethical theories. Actually, they also don't know or don't aware of that the theory they are using. But if you know those theories, then you will have quite understanding about why they are doing those things, right? Then you can behave in such occasions as a profession, right? So students, if you have more questions, you can ask now. Okay, then I will ask questions from you. So I have gave this uh, question in the lab sheet tutorial as well. So what is meant by morality, law and ethics? මොකද්ද මේ morality, law and ethics කියන්නේ? Students, you can unmute and uh, explain, or you can simply put into the chat what is morality, law, and ethics. You can copy paste your same answer if you like. Thank you, Kalhar. Morality is the set of rules define good action. So actually, it is refers to principles, values, and beliefs that determines right. As thank you, Sahan. Determine what is right or wrong, or good or bad. Uh, and it deals with questions of individual and social behavior, guiding people making decisions about their actions and interactions with others, right? That is morality. And thank you, Karl Hara. Ethics are the philosophical and theoretical study of morality. So when we talk about the morality, morality is often influenced by the culture, religious, and social norms, right? It's some kind of relativism. And the morality is more personal and subjective. Uh, it then encompasses an individual's internal sense of what is right and wrong. So, like you have your intuition, uh, you may know what is right and wrong. So it is maybe influenced by your education, your experience, your upbringing. So that will explain most people action, because those uh, people will do act or act as their moral guidelines. when we comes to the ethics, it's a deals with systematic study of moral principles, values, and theories. So it is some kind of a framework. So analyzing uh, those moral dilemmas. So there is a keyword dilemma and determine the action is uh, right and wrong. So in ethics, it will say the uh, reason and rationale, the justification for moral justice, and it explores different ethical theories as utilitarianism, deontology, virtue ethics to understand nature of the ethics and the principle that guide, right? So it is some kind of objectivism. And when we talk about the applications in ethics, it is used to analyze and evaluate complex moral issues, including those that arise in various professions, social challenges, and philosophical debates, right? So it's not going to uh, consider about the principles, so not going to like consider about those relatives and relative to something else, but it's relative to the moral ethical theories. So in general, morality deals with personal and cultural belief, and ethics is philosophical disciplines, and that seeks to understand the nature of morality, right? So when we comes to the law, so Karunanaik also explained law is system of rules, regulation, and norms established and enforced by the governing authority, and typically a government or legal institution, right? So when we are as a citizen in Sri Lanka, we uh, also have the basic uh, law. So what is that? අපේ මොකක්ද නීතිය ඒ ව්‍යවස්ථාවනේ. So we will act on based on that, right? So when we are working in a company, so can be uh, there are rules and regulations, right? So when you're in school, so school have some secondary discipline levels. Likewise, each organization have their own rules and regulations. So those are they are to have some kind of guidelines for to do your action. So when it's come to the law, so it can be judged by in the court, and there can be negative consequences when you break such a law, right? But it is not the case in ethics. If you violate some kind of ethics, but it is not illegal, then you won't be judged in court. But there are can be negative consequences. But even the problem is ethical, but you did some illegal thing, then there can be cases where you can even jail, uh, right? And one thing I mentioned is dilemma. So what is actually a dilemma? What the dilemma එකක් කියන්නේ? So since there is limited time, so dilemma is a situation in which a person faces with two or more conflicting choices or options. Can I, then we can say take the same trolley problem. A trolley problem එකේ වගේම කියන්නේ ඔයාට choose කරන්න වෙනවා two or more things. ඒ කියන්නේ එකකෝ වැඩි ප්‍රමාණයකින් ඔයාට දෙයක් තෝරගන්න වෙනවා. එතකොට ඔයාට හිතා ගන්න බෑ මොකක්ද ඇත්තටම කරන්න ඕනේ. එන්න ඒ වගේ occasion එකකට තමයි අපි කියන්නේ dilemma කියලා. So if you have need face conflicting choices, you need to choose either one occurrence from that conflicting choices or what is will so those occurrences will name as dilemma, and so you need to choose one conflicting choice based on those ethical theories that I have explained, right? So there are a lot more than such theories. So not what I have actually explained, you can go search through those ones as well. But for the syllabus, those things will be enough for you to uh, answer the questions in the exam. So let's talk about some dilemmas in information technology. So all of you have mentioned the privacy and data collection, right? So this is one of the significant dilemma in information technology, where you need to balance between ensuring the user's privacy and even that you need to collect user information. So maybe the various purposes, maybe for like I think all of you have using ChatGPT, right? And for create such application, there should be have like millions of billions of data. So modern Llama 2 from Facebook have I think 70 billion parameters. I think the ChatGPT only has 140 million parameters. ChatGPT 4 has 1 billion parameters. So likewise, so it's only the parameters. So data will be like billions of trillions of text data, text, image, and those data. So you may know about the benefit of such applications, but again, you need to you will be need to collect the users more confidential data. So those are can be some kind of the example for a dilemma in information technology, privacy and data collection. So we will explain in later, right? When you need to do such activity, there will be NDAs to sign non-disclosure agreement. So you need to aware of that as well, and how to create such NDAs and what is the law. So those will be covered in next future sessions and even in the lecture. And so I will give you more examples about dilemmas like artificial intelligence and autonomous automations. So we are currently improving our AI technology and automation. So there will be problem in job security, right? So IT policymakers will be need to address those as well. And next main thing is security and accessibility. That means you cannot access to the crucial security informations, but in some security measures you may need to access. So those are again such dilemma, right? So anyone who have heard this word neutrality, net neutrality කියන වචනේ අහලා තියෙනවා. That is also another concern area in IT sector, where you need to have equal internet traffic for every websites, but it is not a real world happening, right? So the most frequent web service providers will have higher traffic, and some maybe have low traffic. So basically it will prioritize those higher traffic service providers. So you can search those as well. And intellectual property and copyright and online harassment and cyberbullying. So those are some kind of few examples that arise in and computer in information technology. And I think many of you have answered that questions as well. So I will only list down few of them. And yeah, you can ask any questions regarding the today's session. So then we can wind up the session. අද අපි ඩිස්කස් කරා ගොඩක් ඇස්පෙක්ට් ගැන ප්‍රොෆෙෂන් එකේ ඉඳලා කොහොමද හරියට දේවල් right and wrong ද කියලා අපි හොයන්නේ. ඊට පස්සේ අපි මේ ඩිලේමාස් වෙනකන් ආව. එතනින් එහාට කොහොමද අපි ඔය නීතිය පැත්තෙන් කොහොමද වැඩ කරන්නේ කියලා අපි ඊට පස්සේ සයිඩ් මේ සෙෂන්ස් වල කතා කරලා බලමු. කියන්නේ NDAs ඒවා ගැන මම හිතන්නේ දැනට ඔයාලට ethically idea එකක් තියෙනවා නේද කියලා හිතනවා. ඒකත් කරන්න. How to judge. I think you have some kind of a knowledge about how to judge action is right and wrong, and why people are doing those activities right and wrong. So if you don't have questions, you can leave. Others, if you have any questions, you can ask. So okay, thank you, Sahan. Okay then. So thank you, students. So I think you will be aware about how to deal as a software professional. And yeah, thank you very much for coming to the today's lecture.